What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Kyle on the Call Sports. I'm Kyle Russo. On today's show, what I want to talk about is how the Dallas Cowboys have made some big moves this offseason. But before we get started, make sure to like the video, make sure to leave a comment down below, and of course, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kyle on the Call Sports. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. One of the first moves that I want to talk about on today's show is how the Dallas Cowboys recently traded for Houston Texans wide receiver Brandin Cooks. In this trade, the Dallas Cowboys trade a fifth-round pick in 2023 and a sixth-round pick in 2024 for Brandin Cooks. Now, Brandin Cooks, in my personal opinion, is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the entire National Football League since he entered the league back in 2014. In 2014, he was drafted by the Saints, spent a couple years there, then was traded to the New England Patriots, was traded to the LA Rams, was traded to the Houston Texans, and now has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. That is a total of 4 times, which is tied for most all-time being traded in the National Football League, along with legendary running back Eric Dickerson. Now, Brandin Cooks, why I believe he's one of the most underrated wide receivers in the National Football League, is nobody really talks about him. And it's surprising because in his 9-year career so far between time with the Saints, the New England Patriots, the LA Rams, the Houston Texans, and now the Dallas Cowboys, he's had 6 years where he's eclipsed over 1,000 yards receiving. And on average, if you take his total reception count throughout the entirety of his career, he's averaged about 70 receptions per season, which is very good. Some of the highlights throughout Brandin Cooks' career is obviously appearing in back-to-back Super Bowls back in 2017 for the New England Patriots, where they faced off against the Philadelphia Eagles, where they did lose the Super Bowl. And then obviously a year later in which he was traded in 2018 to the LA Rams, where the LA Rams would, funny enough, play the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, where the LA Rams would then lose that Super Bowl to the New England Patriots, Brandin Cooks' former team. Now, in this trade for the Dallas Cowboys obviously give up the draft picks, but what also makes this such a good trade for the Cowboys is that when this trade happened, Brandin Cooks restructured his contract with the Houston Texans so that they would obtain $6 million of his base salary for 2023, and the Dallas Cowboys would only obtain $12 million of Brandin Cooks' salary, which is excellent because along with the trade, not giving up that many draft picks, on top of the Houston Texans retaining a decent amount of Brandin Cooks' salary, they're getting an excellent third receiver to now pair with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. I think Brandin Cooks will only flourish in this offense and obviously help to grow this offense and win football games in 2023, 2024. Now, another move that I want to get into that the Dallas Cowboys have recently made here in this 2023 NFL offseason is the recent acquisition of 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 1-time Super Bowl champ, and in 2019, Defensive Player of the Year award winner, Stephon Gilmore from the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Dallas Cowboys traded away a fifth-round pick in 2023 for Stephon Gilmore, but this is an excellent move by the Cowboys. The Cowboys get an upgrade at the cornerback position. Last year, it was Trayvon Diggs and Anthony Brown, and Anthony Brown is not only a free agent, but unfortunately, in this past year's season, in Week 13, he tore his ACL. So now you add Stephon Gilmore with all the accolades in which I just listed. Even at the age of 32, he's still one of the best cornerbacks in the entire National Football League, to pair alongside a Trayvon Diggs, who's one of the rising stars in the National Football League and is already establishing himself as one of the best cornerbacks in the league as well. So now that tandem of cornerbacks is essentially one of the best tandems in the National Football League, having Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore paired up alongside each other for the Dallas Cowboys in 2023. Now, in this trade, the Dallas Cowboys do give up that fifth-round pick, but they get Stephon Gilmore, and they obtain his salary, which is at $8 million this year, which is not that much for a player of his caliber. However, there's only 1 year remaining on that deal, which is this year, obviously. So this is a win-now type of move for the Cowboys. And even at the age of 32, once again, Stephon Gilmore is one of the best corners in the entire National Football League. This past season with the Indianapolis Colts, he recorded 66 tackles, 11 passes defended, 2 interceptions, and in coverage, he allowed an opposing passer rating of 74. So not only do I believe this is a great addition on this defense, obviously pairing alongside of Trayvon Diggs now a Stephon Gilmore, a cornerback with Pro Bowl experience, All Pro experience, a Super Bowl champion, and just a few years ago was recognized as one of the best defensive players in the National Football League back in 2019 when he won the Defensive Player of the Year award. But they add a guy who's still performing at a very, very high level, even at the age of 32, as I just stated in this past season with the Indianapolis Colts. So, great addition to this defense and great addition for the Dallas Cowboys as a team in 2023. Now, the final move that I want to get into here for the Dallas Cowboys that they've made here in this 2023 NFL offseason is the recent releasing of running back Ezekiel Elliott. Now, Ezekiel Elliott has had an amazing 7-year tenure with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, some of these stats for Ezekiel Elliott include 10,000 plus total yards, 72 total touchdowns. He's a 2-time rushing title winner. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler and a 1-time All-Pro. Now, unfortunately, this release happened because the Dallas Cowboys and Ezekiel Elliott could not agree to a restructured contract that would keep him on the Dallas Cowboys roster. But I do believe this move also happened because of the way that Tony Pollard has played throughout the last couple years. Now, Tony Pollard was recently franchise tagged at a $10.1 million number for the 2023 NFL season. But if you look at some of the stats over the course of the last couple years, especially in 2022, Tony Pollard was averaging 5.2 yards per carry, while Ezekiel Elliott was averaging 3.8 yards per carry. Now, if you look at Ezekiel Elliott's numbers throughout his 7-year career, he has slowly started to decline in regards to his numbers. His rushing yards have gone down each year that he's been in the National Football League. His rushing attempts have gone down every year that he's been in the National Football League. His yards per attempt, his yards per game, they've all gone down. Now, Ezekiel Elliott will definitely be missed for the Dallas Cowboys. Even in a down year where he only rushed the ball 231 times, he had 876 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns, which shows Ezekiel Elliott's ability, his toughness, and his ability to find the end zone, which is key to winning games in the National Football League. Now, even though they franchise tagged Tony Pollard, he did fracture his leg last year. And with the release now of Ezekiel Elliott, it is rumored that the Dallas Cowboys will be in on drafting a running back in this year's 2023 NFL draft. And they've been tied to one of the best, if not the best, running backs coming out of this year's class, in Bijan Robinson, who actually played for Texas this year in college. Now, getting back to Ezekiel Elliott, he did have an excellent 7-year career with the Dallas Cowboys, but he will find a new home in the NFL. Some teams that have been rumored to be interested in him are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, they have a running back need, releasing Leonard Fournette. The Buffalo Bills are rumored to be interested in an Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know how much they are interested in him at this point after the recent signing of Damian Harris, but they were a team to be rumored to be interested. The Kansas City Chiefs have been rumored to be interested, obviously, as running back is a need on that team. Isaiah Pacheco was excellent, but to add a running back of Ezekiel Elliott's caliber, only at the age of 28 years of age, and with the experience in which he has, to add a great running back presence in that locker room and to that team that's already incredible as is, just coming off a Super Bowl this past season, would be a nice add for them. And even the Los Angeles Chargers, as starting running back for the Chargers, Austin Eckler, has recently requested a trade, and Kellen Moore, the former offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, becoming the new offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers. There's definitely some connections there. Obviously, Kellen Moore being a former member of the Cowboys, could he potentially recruit over an Ezekiel Elliott at a position that may be a need if Austin Eckler does get traded from the Los Angeles Chargers? But unfortunately, this was a move made by the Dallas Cowboys that had to be made to create some more cap space so that they can continue to build their team and can continue to compete in 2023. So those are some of the moves that the Dallas Cowboys have made here in this year's 2023 NFL offseason. The Dallas Cowboys acquire Brandin Cooks, they acquire Stephon Gilmore, and they release Ezekiel Elliott. But that'll do it here from me on today's show. Kyle on the Call Sports. I'm Kyle Russo. The Dallas Cowboys are making major moves this 2023 NFL offseason. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to leave a comment down below. And of course, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kyle on the Call Sports. Once again, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.